How the hell do you kill an animated lemon?
Alright, my name's Ari Kruger. I'm a filmmaker slash animator from Cape Town. I studied design and animation, and through that got into video editing. Around the same time I think I bought a video camera and then started using friends that I had around me as actors and performers for short films and clips that I wanted to make.
This is Lotus. I work here Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays. And this is Fiction. I work here every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. And as for Sundays, I like to keep those to myself.
I feel like if I do have an idea for a film that I want to make, the first thing I will do is actually tell a few people about it and kind of gauge a reaction. And it also helps telling them, if they kind of get excited about it, that a week or two down the line, if they ask me about, you know, like what's happening with that film or that idea, it kind of reminds me to be motivated in order to go through and actually make it.
James, no mames, you're crazy? I was designed for one only purpose: to entertain. I refuse to do anything else.
Well, there you have it. You got a week to move out.
Well, I'm not leaving. You can leave.
So say Killing Lemon Lopez I made when I was living in Sydney. That was born from knowing that I was living in this big house. I had a housemate who was Mexican, who I later used to use the voice of the lemon. A friend of mine who was living in Australia, he played the main character, and yeah, and that's kind of how it all came about. And being an animator, I could later sit afterwards and create the lemon and integrate it into the footage. Through my career that I was building as an animator, working in post-production, I kind of always was working on my own short films on the side. But I do find that having the control to be able to kind of be able to do all those things ultimately help with creating the short films that I'm making. And that starts with the pre-production, because I like to prepare quite a lot before going onto set. I'll normally storyboard everything myself, and then as well make a previs of shots that I know I want to have in certain camera moves. So when it comes to being on set, I kind of know exactly what I want to be doing. And I also edit all the short films I make, and I think being an editor as well as a director helps, because I kind of know before when I'm choosing what shots what I'm going to be shooting, I'm already thinking of how I'm going to edit it.
Every Saturday, Ginsberg and Herman meet at the Dyser Park squash courts for a game of squash. They bring their rackets, a double-duck ball, and an old 5 Rand coin, which gives them 20 minutes of light.
Yeah, they didn't really have a budget for a music video, and the first one we did was the squash one, which was an idea I had, I suppose, because I play squash, and I normally play squash with Herman. So I just thought it would be funny to kind of put together a very quick, short, concise video about who they are and, you know, how they kind of come together and play squash.
Ginsberg and Herman also play in a band. Check them out.
Each film that I've made over the years has been like a benchmark of where I've been in my life. And maybe it's just a sense of getting older and maturing a bit more, and that's maybe why Focus was slightly more serious than the rest of the films I've made. Even though I think when I started out, I thought Focus might be a comedy, but then it became a little bit more serious than that.
You see her for the first time in the supermarket. She's the most gorgeous creature you've ever seen.
I really wanted to shoot something that was all in camera, because my backyard we shot predominantly on green screen, and I spent quite a few months afterwards creating all the animation and visual effects and putting it in together. So I wanted to make something that was quick and easy. We shot it over a weekend. The budget for Focus I think was 8,000 Rand, and 2,000 Rand of that was used to fly Clyde Burning down from Joburg, who played the main lead. And everything else kind of went to a bit of lighting and some like camera gear that we needed, like dolly and slides and things like that. I suppose just, you know, daily things in my life influence me, books, music, other films, and I kind of just always coming up with different ideas for how different short films could go. But the ones that I feel actually go through and make are the ones which, at this stage of my life, I feel are kind of more honest and just like I feel will resonate more with an audience, as opposed to like a throwaway kind of comedy skit. I suppose it's only really now that, you know, this year that I feel I've got a lot more exposure from the films that I've made and the hours that I put into it. And yeah, I suppose I just, you know, one thing will lead to another, I imagine, and I'll just keep going with it. Yeah.